Drivers that really piss me off. Let's go.
Yesterday, some lady cut me off in a parking lot, honked at me, parked sideways in a handicapped spot, and then walked away.
Sorry, it's going to be really hard for me to be quiet because I do feel strongly about drivers on the road and the dumb shit that they do. 24/7.
I was pissed. That was just one of 21 types of drivers who pissed me off. But it wasn't as bad as the dudes who don't. That was just one of 21 types of drivers who pissed me off. But it wasn't as bad as the dudes who don't know how to use their turn signals. Sometimes out in the wild, you'll see a dude who is not aware of the little lever behind the steering wheel. Typically, it's BMW drivers, but this issue affects many. When I'm driving in the left lane and some dude just slowly drifts in front of me from the right lane without any notice, it pisses.
Yeah, like, I will say, like, I won't use it if there's 0 cars within, like, 100 feet of me. I don't see the point. There's probably an old-ass grandma somewhere that's like, why the fuck is he not using his turn signal? Even though she would have to speed up 100 miles over whatever the fuck she was going to hit me. But, you know.
Pisses me off. Like, dude, feel free to give me a warning. They put that fucking light on the back of the car for a reason. Do you think BMW spent millions manufacturing a functioning blinker just for it to collect dust? The answer is no. Speaking of these dudes just drifting into the left lane, what the hell is the deal with left lane campers? Like, actually, there are not just 2 lanes on the road for the sake of it. If you're gonna be in the left lane, you're passing. If you're in the right lane, then you're chilling. Why do I see people chilling in the left lane? Not only is it annoying, but it's also probably one of the reasons that people start cutting up and driving like shit. Think about it. If you're going fast and another dude is not going fast, then you're gonna go around them.
Dude, I will say where I live, people are going fastest in the middle lane. That's the fastest lane. Because left lanes will have to, okay, if you're on a highway, the left lane should always be the fastest lane. Like a consistently 15, 20 miles over the speed limit lane. That's what that's for. But like if you're on like your main road in your city, it's probably going to be the middle lane. Right? Another thing about these left lane campers is that they're in absolutely no rush until you try to pass them. I'll be going 5 under behind one of these campers and then go 60 to pass them, and all of a sudden they're going 65, which makes me want to just drive straight into their rear. Yeah. Okay, this sounds a little hypocritical, but tailgating also pisses me off. Fella, the only reason I'm going 25 miles an hour is because we're in a school zone. I know I could probably get a pretty sweet insurance claim with a simple downshift, but it's just so awkward when some loser is just driving right on my bumper. The main time it really pisses me off is when I'm driving my manual Mini Cooper. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of a genie with the clutch, so best believe I'm not gonna be rolling back into someone's car. That being said, on the off chance that I hit legs or something, or my foot slips, just some bullshit happens where the car rolls back, there needs to be a little bit of room, dog. If someone is right on my ass and I roll back a bit, I'd probably be at fault. That's when the big iron comes out, because I'd be about as pissed as fuck. The only time the tailgating really gets to me is on the highway. I'll be trying to merge and a dude will just not make space. Zipper merging is key. If we could somehow just figure that out as a society, then that would be cool. I feel like the merging issues are more with on-ramps though. Sometimes it's just because it's a on-ramp, but other times the people who are already on the freeway are just trying to play defense or some shit. Like this one time I was driving on the on-ramp. Wait, low key though, like sometimes you got somewhere to be, you know? I feel like the bad drivers you see on the road are not bad drivers like every day. Some of them are. Let's take all good drivers, right? I feel like only like 20% of every driver is a consistent bad driver, you know? But the other 75%, they're a bad driver like 5% of the time. I think that's an accurate take.
And there was somebody already on the freeway who was right next to me. Picture this. The left lane was completely empty and they were in the right lane. And I was right next to them on the on-ramp. So as you do, I slowed down a little bit so I could merge behind them. But instead of getting over, instead of maintaining their speed, this bitch stomped the brakes. We both damn near hit a standstill because they literally stopped on the freeway since I was next to them. I don't know how they didn't get rear-ended, and I don't know why they didn't go in the left lane. lane, but that pissed me off. It didn't piss me off as much as blinding headlights, though. I can't be the only one who thinks the older style of headlights is plenty bright enough. All of my cars have relatively dim halogens, and I can always see perfectly fine. But for some reason, people just need to see at night with the brightness of the sun. Those LED bulbs are completely lethal, especially while trying to get on the freeway or something. This isn't really an issue while driving in my truck or something, but in my BMW or Mini Cooper, I feel like I'm getting flashbanged constantly. I know it's not the driver's fault as much as the manufacturer, but that pisses me off. It is the driver's fault when they forget they have their high beams on, though. Holy shit. I live around a lot of back roads and stuff, so people have their high beams on all the time, which is no big deal. But I literally don't know how people can forget to turn them on. Sometimes I'll be driving on one of those roads in the middle of the night, and around the corner, I'll see a light ray sweep directly into my fucking eyes. It's moments like these when you have to lock the in and just look at the white line on the side of the road and pray there isn't anything in front of you. Because 1 minute I'm chilling and the next my whole windshield is just white. Like if there was someone on the road with a bike and I was getting high beamed, best believe they're getting pancaked. Speaking of bikers, we have to talk about the Sur-Ron epidemic. I think Sur-Rons are pretty cool. They seem fun to just hit some dirt jumps with or something, but there is no reason for a bunch of middle schoolers to be riding these on the street. Sur-Rons actually go like 70 miles an hour for no reason at all. And I'm not trying to be looking out for speeding middle schoolers while I'm on my way to work. It's not about the presence of the Sur-Ron. It's the fact that these dudes aren't even in driver's ed yet. They have no idea how the road works. I had one of these dudes jump off a curb in front of me the other day, and thank the Lord I was locked in. Holy moly. Since these things are electric, you just don't hear them coming at all. Mini bikes and dirt bikes are a different story because you can actually hear them coming from a mile away, but Sur-Rons are just like a jump scare every time. There was this one time I was trying to turn left on a somewhat busy street, and this car pulled up next to me. Wait, actually, we got to talk about that because this is worse than Sur-Ron. When I'm trying to turn left on a busy road and somebody pulls up next to me to turn right, I can no longer see the left. What are we doing? If you could just give me an extra few seconds to actually see if I can turn without getting T-boned, that'd be awesome. It's no big deal if there's 2 turn lanes, but when it's a 2-way stop sign or something and the car next to me just invents their own lane, it pisses me off. Doing this makes the whole thing into a gamble. Why do people pull up next to me in the first place when they're trying to turn right? I'm gonna be blocking their vision too.
This is how the turn to get out of my neighborhood is, because it's a really wide road. Like when you're turning, every time I turn right, dude, it's, I don't know. It could be the last day on earth.
You can just see through my car or something. Actually, maybe they can, because I kind of drive a fishbowl, unfortunately. This whole situation pisses me off, but it's not nearly as bad as when people pass school buses while the stop sign is on. I swear the school bus will flip out the stop sign, and I'll be seeing people who are just like, stop sign? What stop sign? And then they just fly right past the school bus. That shit is just weird, though. Like, don't do that one for real. While we're talking about school buses, though, I just gotta mention how much school buses piss me off. As soon as a school bus drives up next to me, I'm gonna get flipped off, get my car hit by a cheese stick, and probably end up getting my bumper clipped off by the school bus taking a tight turn. I feel like even in these situations, I'm not one to use the horn though. I've never been too liberal with the horn as far as honking at people goes. That's like an East Coast thing or something. Honking at people and getting honked at just does not help the situation half the time. If someone's gonna back into you or something, then definitely go for it. But there are these select times when I'll be driving 38 in a 35, and some Tesla is gonna be sure to pull up right behind me and honk at me just to let me know I'm going a bit too slow for that. I think the more awkward situation is being the passenger in a car with someone who loves using the horn way too much. I was once driving with this dude who cut someone off, and then he honked at the other driver. I just about put my hood up for that one because that shit was so embarrassing. I feel like it's a city driver thing though. People who live in big cities drive completely differently than everyone else in the world. Like even if they're in the middle of nowhere, they'll be right on my bumper because they don't want to get stuck in rush hour traffic or something. It's like I need to remind them that we're in the middle of the desert with a total of 3 cars. It's always Teslas though. Teslas are cool because they can launch so hard, but in my opinion, they look pretty boring and half the people who drive them are annoying. I think the best thing about seeing a Tesla in traffic is knowing you can brake check them. If there's a Tesla riding your bumper for no reason at all, they cannot hit you even if they try. These cars have the most sensitive auto braking and it's so funny. There's a dash cam video out there of a dude brake checking a Tesla and the Tesla driver was absolutely losing his shit. I think one of the better things about Teslas is that they're usually in good condition though. Whenever I'm driving near a car that's just completely messed up, I feel like I'm gonna be their next victim. I'm not talking about squeaky brakes, exhaust leaks, or lifter tick, or any of that bullshit. When I see a car with a missing headlight, bumpers hanging on by a thread, and wing mirrors that look like they got knocked up by a motorcycle driver, I feel like I'm gonna get my car flipped or some shit. I understand that everyone has their situations and might not be able to afford a car that's all in one piece, but you can tell when a car has been completely messed up due to bad driving. It doesn't piss me off to see a car like this, but that just scares me, to be honest. Maybe we need to stop handing out licenses to everyone. One thing that pisses me off, but maybe it's just a me thing, is when people don't use their blinker at a roundabout. I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I'm guilty of this when I'm trying to figure out which exit to take or something, but when I'm trying to get in a roundabout and the person coming at me from the left doesn't use their blinker, I'm gonna assume they're gonna continue going around the roundabout. 20 times out of 10, they exit next to me and I could have gone in the roundabout. It's one of those things that's only a problem when there's a lot of traffic or when I'm in a rush or something, but it pisses me off anyway. Let me know if that's just a me thing though, because the next thing that pisses me off is universal. I think a semi-truck passing a semi-truck is totally fine, but there seems to be some sort of hiccup whenever this happens. Either the one passing just can't quite go fast enough to actually pass, or the truck that's getting passed starts speeding up because they can't let their ego get hurt. Here's a message to both of you guys. Kroger does not need to get their 20 seconds earlier. You can just take your time and let the small cars go around you. Please. No, I know you guys are on a tight schedule and stuff, but sometimes I'll see two semi-trucks just blocking the rest of the highway, and to say the least, it pisses me off. I think something on the opposite end of the spectrum, but arguably worse, is new drivers with fast cars. If you're in high school and your car's 0 to 60 is faster than like 6 seconds, you really have to be careful. Maybe I'm just being jealous, but in high school, whenever people had a 335i or something, they would just be acting a fool. If you know how to actually drive, then no worries at all, but chances are if you just got your license, you probably don't. The number of close calls I've had with BMWs while trying to leave the school parking lot is unreal. It's like as soon as people this age get a car with over 250 horsepower, they start wearing lead shoes. Like, dude, calm it. I know your N54 sounds cool, but don't plow into my rear bumper just to let me hear the blow-off valve. It's sometimes these exact same dudes who get a burble tune and start driving like absolute shit to make the exhaust pop. Like they'll just hold a gear until 5,000 RPM and then just completely let off the gas. That shit does not sound cool. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes it does sound cool, but if you're obviously driving like shit to make your exhaust pop, it's like a law of equivalence. It might sound sort of cool maybe, but you'll see people in these cars looking directly at you while they do some dumb shit like that. This shit is not tough, dude. I think burble tunes are weird, but if your exhaust pops between shifts or like pops a little bit on deceleration, it's usually cool. Speaking of deceleration, why don't some people know that your car slows down without using the brakes? I think Isaac Newton figured this one out a couple years ago. Unless you're going down a steep hill, the car is gonna start slowing down when you let off the gas. Like seriously, there is no reason to be periodically tapping the brakes instead of just coasting and letting gravity do the work. I'm sure anyone who's ever driven behind a Nissan Altima knows the feeling. I'll be driving behind one of these on a flat road or something. There will be a stop sign 50 feet ahead, and they will hit the brakes and then accelerate to get to the stop sign. Gas prices are not this good, Unc. You cannot be doing all that. A key lesson from this section is if you stop powering the car will stop powering. But another thing about coming to a stop is awkward traffic lights. Traffic lights are sometimes like 2012 COD lobbies. You'll just be at a stop, and then the moment the light turns green, someone's honking. Like, what kind of throttle response do you think I have? I think the worst part about traffic lights is when people don't know how an unprotected left. There have been so many times that I've got cut off from some dude just gassing.
Bro, when I'm driving with one of my boys and they honk at people as soon as the light turns green, I give people a solid like 5 seconds. I'll give someone a solid 5 seconds before I start honking. I've been the first person at a fucking red light and I've sat there for like 5 seconds. So like, I completely understand, but when I'm with my boy who does not allow over a second, like, yeah, honk at that dude, please. It's just funny to see like some people are actually like hella impatient, but like when you're with them, You're glad, because it really does make shit go by faster.
It through an unprotected left turn. I feel like that situation leaves way too much thinking for some drivers out there. Okay, wait, I just thought of another situation at traffic lights.
Yeah, driving with someone who even honks, more.
When I'm behind someone who doesn't stop at the fucking stop line. I know they probably think they're a good person or some shit for stopping way behind the stop line, but I promise, the traffic light does not see you. Unless the traffic lights are on timers, we are going to be sitting there for a long time. Speaking of sitting in a car for a long time, you're not going to be sitting in your car for very long if you don't wear a seatbelt. I swear, some people prefer to hear the seatbelt warning chime blaring instead of just clipping in their seatbelt. Must be too fat for the seatbelt or something.
I hate wearing a seatbelt. It's so uncomfortable, and I know you can like bring it over your shoulder and shit, but dude, bro, it's just like if I want to roll my window, go to the ATM, you know, put my card in the ATM in the drive-thru, I have to take off my fucking seatbelt. Or if I'm leaving a parking garage, which I go to a parking garage almost every day for work, I have to unbuckle my fucking seatbelt. And bro, it's just like, it's too much fucking work. I'm a lazy ass dude, and there should be a feature where you can turn off the fucking beeping. Please, Honda.
Something, I don't know. There's literally zero reason to not wear a seatbelt. If I get in an accident with someone and they fly through the windshield, best believe I'm not going to go scrape them off the asphalt. When I'm driving, I need to feel like I'm glued to the seat. Otherwise, it's just so uncomfortable. Not as uncomfortable as seeing a big truck hauling nothing. I have a love-hate relationship with lifted trucks that haul absolutely nothing. I love it because I think it's about as funny as shit to see a tiny dude with a $100,000 truck on rubber bands and chrome wheels. Because you know that guy is like an accountant or something and has never even worn a piece of Carhartt, let alone put a stick in the bed truck. So yeah, I love them because they're funny to look at.
Bro, I will never understand, bro. Listen, I drove a truck because it was my dad's old truck. They're cool to look at for sure, but if you genuinely have that shit for no fucking reason other than to have a truck, like, you're a poser. That's literally the definition of a poser. I'm sorry.
But when you have to share the road with one of those,
if you have a truck.
Holy shit. Give me a break. When they're behind me, they're taking up like 3 lanes, right on my ass, probably don't see me, and I feel like I'm gonna get run over. And when I'm behind one of these trucks, it's like they're rolling coal all over my car. And I have to look at all those bumper stickers that are just yapping about some bullshit. And worst of all, they have those underglow kits that make me feel like I'm gonna have a seizure. In all fairness, I respect the grind, and it's cool that they've put so much time into a build like this, but I personally think a truck should be used for truck stuff. Maybe that's just me though. Like, the bed sizes of these trucks literally haven't changed since the 90s, but the grill has like quadrupled in height. It kind of sounds like a whole lot of coping. I'll probably always be the type to drive an older truck for this reason. One last thing though, I've only ever sat in a lifted truck like this one time, and to be completely fair, I felt like I owned the road. So I get the appeal, I guess, but it still pisses me off.
W did.